Divine and royal greetings, family. Shayola Benson here, along with Latoya
Latoya Davis.
Davis. Oh, excuse. She's like, wait, I can introduce myself. Yes, Heal Thyself Holistic Practitioner Latoya Davis in the house. So, we are building through broadcasts coming to you every Friday at 12:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to talk about a topic as it relates to healing thyself, family, friends, community, and all that jazz. So today we're actually going to pull from dun 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 Queen Afua's Circles of Wellness. Now I don't know if any of you have seen, but there is this trending topic about a mom who was super, I would say, maybe agitated that her child's father didn't bring McDonald's for all the children,
Mhm.
which is a different topic for different days. The focus is really the McDonald's aspect or the fast food period. And I said, just show me something we should talk about today. So as I began to read, I was like, oh, this is more child specific. But we are all still nurturing and taking care of the child within, as well
Mhm.
as any children that we may have. So it's still relevant. So we will pull again from this text. We're on page 59. But before we jump into the reading, what say you about the either portion, either one that you would like to speak to, albeit bringing the food for one or all children, or the food that was being brought, you
Yeah,
know.
the first thing that was in my mind was that, like I mentioned before, is like the food. I'm like, they're gonna be fully, they're gonna be hungry again later. I mean, the McDonald's that ain't gonna fill them up anyway,
Mm-hmm.
you know. But yeah, that the other aspect of it, that's like a whole nother like only thing I can think of in regards to the bigger picture of it is that always I just remember just growing up in an environment where you include everyone, so
Mm-hmm.
so to me it's bigger than just, oh, this is my child and not my child. It's like including children, period.
Right,
Not, you don't want anyone to feel left out. But
right.
that there's more than one opinion or perspective. So yeah.
Definitely that. Definitely that. Definitely different perspective. It's
Right.
been, something. But bringing things back into focus is like,
Mhm.
you know, anyway, anyway.
Yeah.
So we're going to start with the reading. If you have your text, if you have this book, this is the older copy. Latoya has the newer version, which has it's a green cover.
Right.
All right. So, 8 keys to wellness for the brain and the nervous system, which are key components because we need our minds, and our nervous system is pretty much our gauge, right? So, if the nervous system is not in alignment, that is stress and all types of diseases to follow. So, putting focus on the nervous system is just as important as the brain, the colon, and you know, the organs, all the organs. Okay, my dear, take it away.
All right. So we have the 8 keys to wellness for the brain and nervous system. Caretakers, parents, and grandparents circle your child in wellness. These 8 keys to wellness are for nourishing your child's brain and nervous system. Applying them daily will absolutely support your child to have a better quality of life. Be consistent for 21 days to 1 season of wellness in order to witness a breakthrough. Once you experience the improvement in your child, make the 8 keys to wellness a part of your life for you, your child, and your family. The best way to ensure your child's well being is to secure the caretaker yourself in wellness.
Mm,
Serve your child Green Life, number one. Serve your child Green Life nutritional formula number one. Use 1 to 2 tablespoons of Green Life Formula One which contains vitamin A, B, D, E, K, vegetable calcium, and vegetable protein a day, with 4 ounces of fresh organic apple or pear juice or vegetable juice, followed by 4 ounces of distilled or alkaline water 2 to 3 times per day. Give your child or teenager, well, this is number 2, give your child or teenager 25 milligrams of vitamin B complex in powder form, blended with juice or water 2 times per day. Number 3, serve fresh green salads with steamed vegetables. Serve whole grains and vegetable protein, beans, peas, lentils, soaked almonds, and sprouts over a bed of fresh leafy greens 2 times per day. Number 4, keep brown and white sugar out of your child's diet. Sugar destroys the brain cells and the nervous system. As a healthy, sweet alternative, keep a fruit bowl full of your child's favorite fruit in your nutrition kitchen pharmacy. You want to go on to continue, or you want to?
Well, I see that.
Lotion in hand.
Pick it up. I was going to say, I see that Shantae has arrived and wanted to bring her in. Greetings, beautiful. How you doing?
Greetings. I am doing splendid on this lovely Friday. I'm grateful to see you ladies here.
Likewise. So when we were in our the pre-session, we were like, okay, you're going to read this and I'll read that. And then Shantae can read numbers 5 through 8, and then you came on the screen, but you may not be in the space. Did you want to? You have your.
Well, let me know what page it is, because for some reason, right now in this moment, I cannot find it in this book.
Okay, well, it's page 59, and we are at number 5 of the 8 keys to wellness for the brain and the nervous system.
All right, here we are. So 5 through 8 for me.
Yes, ma'am.
All righty. So number 5, become a food co-op member or form a co-op to be able to purchase affordable, organic, non-GMO foods at reasonable prices. This will support your effort to serve whole foods for a whole body, mind, and spirit. And just a little insert here. I absolutely love co-ops for this very reason, and have been thinking very heavily about this for everyone, because it is less expensive than going to a grocery store, and you get more quality and quantity for, more bang for your buck. So it's commend everyone who's doing this already. Number 6, feed your child's brain. Massage your child's back and head gently in a clockwise direction with cold pressed olive oil to send energy to your child's brain. Daily for 10 minutes, AM and PM, as you pour love into your child's crown. Oh, that's beautiful. Number 7, de-stress your child. Before massage, give your child a warm water salt bath, 1 pound Epsom salts, 15 to 20 minutes, 3 times per week. One more tidbit here. My son has fallen in love with foot soaks. So if he does not soak and convince me to let him soak, which is code for mommy, can I sit in the tub and play with my toys? If he doesn't do that, he's going to soak his feet. And sometimes he'll soak his feet 2 to 3 times a day just because he can. He knows how to do it now. So he'll just go.
I am here for the wellness.
And I'm like, Makari, I need you to go take the... And he's sitting there with his feet in water. He's like, I'll do it when I'm done, Mom. All right. Go ahead and get your wellness on, baby.
Yes.
Last but not least, number 8, keep your child's circulation up to par. Have your child engage in some form of activity such as sports, biking, running, dance, etc. Whatever form of movement that your child can enjoy. We enjoy dance parties. So we just turn on music in the living room and we dance. Our dancing is not other people's dancing. It's dancing for us. And it gets our circulation going. So that's what matters.
Okay. I was going to say, I feel like the dance definitely came with a description. Does that say that this is a dance that perhaps other people wouldn't understand or know how to do?
No one else would get it. No one else would get it. But circulation happens, a good sweat is had, and a
Right.
good rest occurs that evening. But we have some really good fun. We're gonna learn some dances. We're gonna actually commit to learning some dances.
Okay.
We found this African dance class online, and we had a good time. But we weren't able to get back into the class. But we enjoyed it. We did discover though that our particular style of dance does not include a lot of rhythm. So we're gonna have to work on that.
Okay. It's your rhythm. And that's
Exactly. It's
matters.
internal. It's ours.
Right. It's internal. That is so important. So, you have shared with us in the past just your transition from the lifestyle that you were living to where you are now with your son, who is 9, I believe.
10.
So,
He'll be 11 in August.
Oh, so he's 10. Okay. And wow, that went by
Yeah.
quick. Okay.
Yeah.
Catch up, Shayola. All right. So how was the explained or share with us, how was that transition for your son?
Whew. So, we were in session last night and Queen mentioned that her son had gone to spend time with family and he was asking for a Frank and he ended up not eating it and all of that. That is not my son's legacy at all. In the transition from eating the standard American diet to eating a vegetarian or vegan diet, he ate as often as he could at other people's house, whatever it was that he could not get at home. And the same thing with school. When he was going to public school, he was eating lunch at the school. He was drinking the milk. He was doing all of the things. And it really wasn't until his eczema flared up again that he realized the importance of it. So his transition for him, he has to have big reminders to say, this is why my mom makes the food that she makes. This is why my mom has that rule about no drinking with your food. This is why my mom makes me drink that green stuff. Now that he is experiencing the negative health effects of doing the same things that he was doing before, it's starting to sink in more, and he's not pushing against it quite as much as he was. But his initial reaction was, I don't want to do this. This doesn't taste good. And I will admit, the learning curve to get my food, because I love to cook. I've always cooked. It's just a thing that I enjoy. But learning to cook vegan and vegetarian food that was full of flavor and full of love, that was a challenge. That was a transition. So I was understanding, like, I know this is not great, but this is what we need right now. It's gonna get better. And over time it did. So now he has like his favorites, his things that he asks for. And we enjoy the variety of foods now because we're not confined to, oh my God, well, what are we gonna eat? I don't know what to make. We've been in this thing for so long that now we have our little quick things that we can do, and we have options that we can kind of maneuver around so that we stay in the mindset of health with everything that we eat.
That's amazing. I love the fact that he's able for himself to distinguish, when I eat this or do this, this is the way that I feel. And I know that for myself. So even though, as you said, the food may not have been as great as it is now, he still went through the transition and he stuck and stayed, as we say. So that's pretty amazing. That's pretty amazing. Now, Latoya, your daughter was born into a live food situation, lifestyle. So
yes,
I guess there's really nothing for you to like counter. You know what I'm saying? Or is there? Do you?
right. As of right now, there isn't, because she's young and it's not, but as she gets, older, I know that that's something that's going to come up. you know, because she's her own person, her own individual, and she's going to be curious.
Mm-hmm. Oh, looks like she'll
The
come.
gremlins are out.
Yeah, so we're gonna do this Inti way. So I definitely I love, excuse me, the portion where it says to massage your child's head and just really giving them that extra TLC. You know, like your son saying, well, I'm in my bath right now, or I'm soaking my feet from a young age, and just to remain consistent with that and overstanding, okay, well, I'm soaking my feet because it not only feels good, but it does this for my body. Or, you know, they may not enjoy drinking celery juice right out the gate, but as they get older,
Right.
they would know, you know, if I'm having a stressful day, if I need to realign and focus, I'm just going to have me some celery juice and some lemon and just relax for a second and maybe even soak my feet. Right. So for maybe a 15-year-old or a 16-year-old, I mean, if I would have started in that way from Latoya's daughters, you know, just from the womb, even before, that's like,
That's beautiful.
it really
That's
is.
a goal of mine now, is to get my whole life overhauled so that in the future, when I do connect with the divine masculine that is meant for me and we do decide to conceive, we are sublime. Like everything that needs to happen happens exactly as it's meant to. It's aligned, and I don't have to detox my child from, you know, candy and chocolate milk and everything else that they're given that stimulates that. If you read the book Sugar Blues, it goes into detail about how all of those things kind of work together. But we don't have to detox them from all of those things because they don't have the experience of using it. So
Right.
it's a much easier way to stay healthy when you're already doing it. And Latoya, I do have a question for you, because you were just speaking about your daughter. Have you had any issues or opportunities where you've had to allow family members to look out for her for any length of time? And if so, how did you handle that as far as her dietary needs are concerned?
Yes. As of right now, I really haven't had the opportunity for a long period of time. But like, for example, if my mother is watching her while I am able to rest or something like that, or if she's taking her out on an errand or whatnot, she's done that. I'll make sure that she has everything that she needs. I'll just pack little snacks and stuff like that. But I haven't had any major issues with people not respecting my, you know, my how I feed her. And I think it's because I really have set a foundation of how I live. And, you know, and I think that because of that, and you know, that it's almost like you kind of consider, oh, if she eats this, she may have reaction. You know, it's like just kind of putting that in mind, or just knowing that that's a big piece for me. I think that, you know, certain people know that that's a major thing for me, you know. And it's kind of interesting because that actually has come up again. You know, it's like, you know, there are going to be times where I want to have me very key for me.
Okay.
That was
Back.
yes.
You're back now.
I was trying to create another banner so people know who we are and what we're even talking about. But I'm just going to leave the keyboard and look.
Okay, I thought it was the internet again. I was like,
no. It was totally my fault.
Okay.
It was my fault.
Okay.
Doing the most.
But yes, but it's like I am considering that, you know, and I just feel like it's also I want to get to a space where people that are open to it, that I know that are in my family, will kind of make foods for her, you know. You know, that's a big thing. And I do feel like my mom is open enough to at least make some simple things, you know. I did notice that she was observing me very closely when I was, you know, making my daughter's typical little food. She was paying attention very closely. So I was like, well, you know what, maybe, you know, that's a big piece for me. I'm not going to lie to you. It's like, because I know before I even had a child, I know people who actually had that issue with their family members not respecting that boundary of like, do not feed that child this or that. That's something that's not even plant-based at all, you know. So that's been my biggest concern. But I find that people are very respectful overall. And I feel like it's because I embody that lifestyle, just being myself or whatnot. But I know that with time, my daughter has her own little personality. So she's going to be curious just seeing other children just eating maybe a bag of Doritos or something. She might be like, oh, what is that? But I've already researched recipes on stuff like that. Raw vegan.
Come on now.
I've been doing I'm like, oh, they actually have recipes for all this type of stuff that mimics, but that's a big thing for me. But there was something that that came up while you all were talking, and I realized that my daughter's palate, even when I bought a dried fruit, I ordered something online from like the fruit company, but I noticed they added sugar to it, to some of them, and I was like, I thought it was because it's more of a natural fresh company, but they added fruit to some of their dehydrated, and I noticed that I was seeing my daughter like try it out, and she didn't want it. Like she naturally did not want the fruit that had the added sugar on it. She wanted the ones that were more like didn't have the. And I was like, wow, I just think it's just amazing how they kind of naturally gravitate towards things that are more, like natural and organic,
Right. And to veggie back on that, I was thinking about I think it was Shantae that was talking about the sugar aspect, right? The sugar, as Queen mentioned, is really death to the brain. And there's sugar literally in everything. So we have to be very mindful, especially like with the breads and the pastas, because when they, break down into the bloodstream in the form of sugar. And sugar and cocaine are only a few molecules away from one another. So it's, of course, highly addictive, but it wreaks havoc not only on the brain, but on the nervous system as well. And it takes us on a journey, oftentimes that we may not, an emotional one, the sugar blues. I think that's what it was, right? Wow. The sugar blues is really a real thing. So just being mindful of, like you say, that added sugar. Do I really need it? Do I even want it? Your daughter's like, yeah, no, I'm just not going to have the added sugar because I don't need it.
Right.
So what would be some, I'm going to try one more time. I feel like if someone watches this, like, who are these people? What are they talking about? I have a banner, but I need to make corrections to it. But anyway, what would you say would be a good sugar replacement? Or things that moms and dads can do to help give that feeling of sugar, but not.
Let me go to the kitchen.
Okay, she's going to the kitchen. Nature's candy is always a great thing, I would add. And that's just fruit.
I would say also, depending on the child, because some people may not like green, but I would say just even making a smoothie full of fruit that they like, that's something that's simple. Or making a sweet treat. My daughter loves the cinnamon rolls I make, the raw vegan cinnamon rolls. It's made of dates. She likes dates and raisins. She loves raisins.
Okay.
I wasn't a fan of raisins as a child, but she really loves that. Making like a alternative ice cream, just making it with bananas, the frozen bananas. That's another one that I know she likes. She loves acai bowls too. That savors that.
Mom on duty. What did you pull from the kitchen?
If you're looking for actual sugar to replace things with, and bananas are a great option. Of course, the fruit itself is the best option. But if you need to replace the sweets, dates are a really great option. Dates are naturally sweet, and these are the whole, wait a minute, there we go, the whole medjool dates. And you see how sticky that is? Just take the seed out. And I'm born and raised in Alabama, and I actually have a cousin who is not vegan or plant-based who takes dates and he just eats them because they're good.
They are good.
My daughter loves the dates. Yeah.
Really good.
They are pretty awesome.
You
So
can buy or make. I got a couple more.
what is
You
it?
can buy or make your own date syrup.
Mm-hmm. Yes. And that's super easy to make. We normally make date cream, right? I love a date cream. But what was the other thing that you were showing us?
This is a pomegranate molasses, and both of these are things that I found at Whole Foods Market.
Okay.
So if you have a Whole Foods Market near you, you can check that out. And lastly, coconut sugar. This is one that I found that works really well, and it's unprocessed.
And the coconut sugar has a low glycemic level, so it won't spike you the way that a regular refined sugar would. So I'm definitely here for the dates. I'm not a huge raisin fan, but I love dates. And to make the date cream, maybe I'll put this in the chat or in the comments rather. You just want to soak those module dates. Make sure that the seed is removed. You soak it overnight. I put 1 to 2 cloves in it. For cloves are great for the teeth, right? So it's kind of you doing 2 things in one. Very nice, very nice. And when you soak them overnight, you just put the dates, the water, and the clove, if you use that, into a blender and just let it blend to it's a beautiful caramel, fluffy work of art. And then you store it in a mason jar and it holds for I would say up to 2 weeks. Now, as it oxidizes, it'll turn from that beautiful caramel color into a deeper brown color. But, I am a proponent for date cream to replace all sugar. Well, maybe not all, but you know what I mean. So, does anyone else have any closing thoughts for just how we should be feeding not only our children, but the inner child? Because a lot of us, if not most of us, have that inner child that is still waiting for the healing that he or she did not get as they have grown. And we do have a lot of children in adult bodies. That emotional coefficient is just not, where it could be. But what say any of you? What would you suggest for a person working with their child or their inner child?
I would say I heard this term from a page that I follow, and I cannot remember her name, but she is a nanny, and she does a lot with early childhood development and things of that nature. And she was talking about soul play, just letting the children just get out and explore. And well, I don't know if she used soul play, but just letting the children get out and explore, play in the little pretend kitchens, make believe, use their imaginations. And that's what we have to do. We have to remember that just because we have an actual house now with an actual kitchen, that doesn't mean that we can't get in there and play around. We can get in there and play around. We can get in there and make a mess. We can hang around and be silly. One of my favorite things to do with my son is crack jokes. And he likes to crack jokes and try to scare me, but I just crack jokes. I don't intentionally try to scare him, but we have fun when we just take off I'm the mom and you have to listen to me, and I'm the son and I have to do da da da. When it's just I'm playing, he's playing, we're enjoying one another's company, things flow so much smoother. Unfortunately, he likes to stay in that area. Well, and we cannot do that. But definitely just taking the opportunity to just be silly and play and have fun is definitely something that I support for all people.
You have a landline?
I do have a landline.
She has a landline.
I do.
That is so cute.
I'm probably going to get rid of it at some point, but
take your time with your landline.
Part of me feels like it may come and it may make a comeback, and I'll be ahead of the curve.
Okay, hold on. Okay, so you say to help with that balance and nurturing the inner child and the children that you have is to use your imagination, remain
Just
playful, and
play.
yeah.
Be
Okay.
silly. Tell
Right.
jokes in the back of the Laffy Taffy wrappers. Like
Okay.
silly stuff.
Just
Just
silly
have
stuff.
fun. Remember what you were like as a child. My son asked me questions. Well, what did you do when you were this age? What did you do when you were a teenager? What did you do when you did this? And, da, 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 da. And it forces me to sit still and really think, what
Right.
was I doing in the third grade? What was I
Right.
doing in the fifth grade? What was I doing in the 10th grade? Like, what was I
Right.
doing at these different phases? And connecting with my inner child also helps me to connect with my child, because I had mentioned before, one of the journeys that we're on is rebuilding our bond and our connection, because I allowed someone to come into our lives who was not on the highest vibration. So we're getting ourselves back in alignment with one another. And this is one of the things that really helps a lot, because, like I said, it takes the pressure of our roles off so we can just interact with one another on a level that he understands, because it's where he is right now.
Right. Okay. And what say you, Latoya? Thank you for that share.
Yes, give thanks. Yes, I definitely agree with everything that Shantae said. That's the beauty of children, is that they always remind you to get back to your child's self, because it's always there, and to nurture that aspect. And I can wholeheartedly agree with that. I was in the middle of washing dishes, and my daughter pulled me down, and she wanted to do her little matching of her the matching puzzle with the numbers and the number of whatever. And I was just like, oh, so I was like, I really wanted to get things done, but I was like, okay, let me sit down. Whenever she does it, I'm like, that's a reminder for me to be present, and I did that with her, and she loved that I was engaging with her, and I was just like, oh, and I realized that she's really learning a lot, and I was like, wow, you are just like, I'm just amazed at how much she knows. But I was just like it's just a reminder just to slow down and just connect with her and connect with myself. And it's a powerful thing. Like, having her just put me back into that space of connecting more deeper to my inner child, because I realized that my inner child was hiding, and going through Sacred Women, like, really supported me in bringing her out, even more full circle, full center. I remember my inner child didn't want me to have children. Didn't want me to have no child. I remember that right there. So like, I did a lot of healing work to even want, get to the space of wanting to get pregnant. I knew I wanted children eventually, but I knew that my inner child was afraid of having the attention away from her. So doing that inner child work is so important, because you don't even realize how you make choices and decisions based upon the not connecting with that inner child. So I wholeheartedly agree with that. Just getting out in nature also is an important part of that, and engaging with other children is, to me, very helpful. My daughter is a constant reminder of that all the time. So yes, I'll agree.
Well, I am here for all of that, and just knowing that all of the laughter and all of the play and all of the excitement, really does work wonders for the brain and the nervous system, right? So we want to revitalize the cells with all of that, with nature being right at the tippity top. So, well, this has been a fabulous conversation. Hopefully we will, seek more of a natural approach, having fun in the kitchen as often as we can, creating for our children, for our inner child, and all the things in between. So with that, we say thank you for stopping by. If you're seeing this as a replay, go ahead and hashtag replay. We'll be back next week, Friday at 12:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with another topic. For now, we say peace, light, and love.
Peace.
Bye, y'all.